Anyway, we are into Showbiz Review. Probably brought to you by Betway. You always get way more with Betway, Franco Trading Enterprise. Still from Papa Pafi and Telecel. We are connecting energies this morning. Now, this morning we're having a look at a post from Beverly Afaglo. I'm sure everybody in here, you've seen the post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Posted.
Saw the post.
Okay, but there's a story. I don't know if my brother wrote it, but my who handwriting.
Sir.
Yeah, I've not seen your handwriting.
I'm sure.
Hey, well, today there are no big words.
Wow. These days you've been eluding us. Hey.
Or these days, as I press your next small.
Oh, a mood.
A mood on.
A mood.
Ah, okay. Well,
the me were in key, yeah.
If you are in key.
And me in Cambro Fakasi.
But if you are off key.
You guys.
Charlie. Extra crispy. Well, the caption says, try me. Beverly Afaglo pleads with movie producers to offer her roles. Ghanaian actress Beverly Afaglo is not happy that Ghanaian movie producers and directors are not using old actors in their movie projects. In an Instagram post, she wrote that 80% of the old faces are currently not getting movie roles. How many of the old faces do you producers and directors cast anyway? 80% ain't working. What is going on? Shout out to all the producers holding us down. The industry needs you. Keep going. That's how the caption reads. But then, Beverly also mentioned in her post that she has shot only 2 movies this year. She therefore called on movie producers to consider her while casting for their film projects. I think I'm getting bored. I've done only 2 productions this year. Yeah, Basa Basa on YouTube, and 1 movie produced by Steve Ekiso. And is that the name?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Ekiso.
Aye.
Okay.
Yankanisa.
Okay. Where are the producers and directors? Forgotten about me? I'm a versatile actor. I can do it all. Or you say you want new faces, or you can't pay me. Try me, she wrote. Well, this morning, this morning we have Beverly Afaglo on the phone lines. We want to talk to her. Her post has gone viral. Hello, Beverly. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
We're blessed and highly favored over here. And this morning we're having a look at your Instagram post. And quite interesting. I'm sure it's caught some viral fire. And you've noticed it, right?
I'm surprised.
You're surprised?
Yeah, because, I just they free my mind, though. You know, sometimes you just feel like writing. I'm not very present on Twitter because, me, the way I like freeing my mind, I guess if I were on Twitter, every time my story will be somewhere.
Okay.
But I don't know why somebody cannot be free to free their mind, and before you know it, posts are flying everywhere for just saying what I felt at that particular point in time.
Okay, so but where is it coming from? Where is it coming from?
Okay, so for some time now, I just feel bored. At the moment, as I'm talking to you, I'm at the harbor. I'm buying chicken and stuff for my business. After going to market and distributing the stuff to my businesses, then I just relax. I'm home because I'm not the one who goes to the shop to do the shawarma and all that. So at the end of the day, I'm just relaxed at home, just checking them on the cameras and not doing anything. So I'm just getting bored and I'm thinking of writing stuff and creating stuff. Then it came to mind that I haven't actually shot a movie in a while. And I'm bored. And the thing about movies is sometimes people think we are broke. That's why we are asking for movie roles. No, you miss it. We actually do miss the screen. We do miss it. You can ask any actor. We do miss the screen a lot. So you just sit down and you feel like, I really miss doing this. I really miss reading a script. I miss going on set, meeting my colleagues. It's a fun it's a fun-filled thing when you meet your colleagues around, and we have our own like life, and we enjoy being together. So I just miss it, and I wrote to like I'm bored and ABCD, and the truth is really they are not casting some of us.
Okay.
And what I hear mostly is they call some of us Venus babies. Like
really?
The Venus film babies, yes. They say the Venus film babies, you can't pay them. Hey, Jackie Mo. Hey, Yvonne Nelson Mo. Hey, Yvonne Okoro Mo, Beverly Mo, you can't cast them. Only Venus babies. You know.
Premium.
They call some of us Venus babies. So we, the Venus babies, they think, okay, you can't pay us. So they will not even bother to ask if I can pay you or would you be interested in working with me. But the thing is, we've gotten to a stage where, yes, money is very important because at the end of the day, it's money that gives us, the push. And, this lifestyle is not cheap. So we need the money to keep it going. But at the same time, we've gotten to a place that we want a script that will take us to another level. It's not just acting. It's not that I don't get scripts. Yes, I do get scripts. But some of the scripts, some of these producers come in, you see the director unknown, you ask who is directing, some name. You've never directed any movie before. Okay, then at the end of the day, I come on set and I'm literally directing myself and even directing other people for you. Because I don't want to be in a movie that I'm doing my best, but I see what you claim you're directing, and it's not good. And I sit by you, and I tell you, tell her to do this, tell him to do that. I think she's overreacting, so tell her to calm down. Tell her to do. So I'm literally directing for you. So sometimes when I see some of these productions, they need some kind of support or work before the production comes out well. So it's either money that will ginger me, or the script is so good that I can't say no. Because,
okay.
Yes, I want to get to another level.
Okay, so Beverly, let's run with this statement from Ajetian, and I had him in the studio a couple of weeks ago, and he was, I think last week, and he was of the view that there's low level of production with respect to movies in the country. Do you agree to that assertion? Do you agree to that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So
they're not producing a lot.
Okay. So
they're not producing at all.
What do you think has accounted for this?
There's no money in the system. There's no money in the system, one. And two, patronage is very low. Ghanaians are not supporting us in any way. I think everybody is running to YouTube. And, it's free. You're relaxed in your home, and that's just about it. And it's free. If you tell them come to the cinemas, they are not coming.
Why?
And,
why?
We just don't know. We don't even know how to. So we are trying to. I've spoken to a few people that I think this cinema thing is not working. We should go back to the olden days that you go to the villages and you have a small hall, a town hall or something that we can just take about 100 to 200 people and let the people feel us, let them watch our movies. At the end of the day, when we do one city to another, one village to another, they will get to interact and see that Ghanaian movies are still working. Because at the moment, the major productions are only coming from DSTV. So if you're even hearing of a producer working, like Shirley is working back to back, but it's produced or executive production is from DSTV. It's not Shirley's money. You understand? DSTV has employed Shirley to produce for them. So at the end of the day, if they produce a series or something, it gets on only DSTV. There's no other platform that can have that series. So with that, those who are, how many people have DSTV in Ghana? So we will be working, because a couple of years before even this year, I was on a series on DSTV, and it was constant for 5 days every week, inside out. But people still see me and ask me, are you still acting? Oh, I don't see you again. And I say, I'm on TV every day. But it's on DSTV. Exactly. We did Market to Men just last year. Market to Men, I think, ended early this year. It was on DSTV every day, 5 days a week. And I was in literally every episode. But where would they see us?
Okay. Okay.
You understand? Where would they see? It's just DSTV. The other producers, they don't have the funds. And where we see our movie industry right now, distribution is a big problem. And because we don't have distribution platforms or avenues, people produce and they're stuck. Because if I put 100,000 or 200,000 into a movie, which is, I'm a businessman or woman, I put that into a movie, I expect to recoup it like immediately. But we don't have distribution platforms. So by the time we finish the auditions and what do you call it, the premieres, and let's say the person has even recouped like 50,000, the rest, when is he going to get it back? The rest of the money, when is he going to get it back? So when that happens, the producers are laid back when you even get to them and say, can you help me produce, or can you, it's very hard. I mean, the industry is suffering. Producers are not producing because there's no money in the system, and distribution problems is what we have.
Beverly, when I was having a conversation with Ajetian, and he also was of the view that, he is of the view that the script or the content of cinema, or the type of movies that we are producing in the country right now, are not doesn't resonate with the locals or people who are ready to consume it. They will rather consume what is theater than movies. And the exact word that he used was mediocre. Do you agree?
I think to an extent I will agree with him, because stage is more relatable. You see the people, you get to love that aura of like the place, everybody being in that mood. We are all watching, we are all laughing. Somebody throws a comment here and there. It's always beautiful. And we on stage too, we love it when people love what we are doing, because it's physical. You see it. But in acting, or I mean the screen, it's totally different, because we are telling a story in a particular way. Cars are driving here. We are moving from one room to another, and a whole lot. Sometimes we give that touch life that people feel they cannot relate to. Like back in the day when Venus Films were doing movies, and a rich person is coming and we have 6 cars in a convoy and all that. I think they are getting tired of it. But Ghanaians are really not supportive naturally, because they watch Nigerian movies that are boring stories on YouTube. I've been watching Nigerian movies on YouTube now. They use 4 cars and they use 2 rooms. Move from one living room to the bedroom to the kitchen, and before you know it, the movie is over. Are you telling me these are the stories we haven't told before? But they are watching. So why would people complain about our stories? Our stories are just everyday life stories, but it's just that most of the stage plays are relatable. They are more Ghanaian.
Okay.
Most of the scripted, they are more Ghanaian than screenplays.
Okay. Beverly, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.
Welcome back into the studio. Well, Beverly is saying Ghanaians naturally are not supportive. Reason why production of movies in the country as it stands now, at the all-time low, Charlie. As it stands now, people are not even producing. Producers are not producing movies anymore. Money no day, and Ghanaians are not supportive, because she said exactly in her words that there are other bomb quote-unquote movies on YouTube that Ghanaians are ready to stream and watch. But hey, they wouldn't want to watch same production from Ghanaians. Coming to the studio, I have Mr. Adam Chotome here. Kwame Dazi seated. Ria is also here. And Ashes. We're about to get into it. Real quick, you heard Beverly saying, she's saying, people should try her. Producers should try her.
Yeah,
Venus Babies, as we had the premium tag at 2 almost.
Try me. Big shout out to Sarko there.
Is that how you start your submission?
Try me. That's what she said.
Okay, carry on.
I think that there is no denying the fact that, please, you are laughing off key. Stop laughing off key.
I know that. Lebanyo.
Off key.
Everything is irritating.
Jesus. Adam,
Useless laughter.
go on.
I'm sorry.
You see,
Maybe you might have.
there is no denying the fact that, I mean, productions, I mean, the volumes of productions have dwindled.
All time low.
Yeah. And, I mean, some producers are trying to still be in business. New ones are coming. And clearly, I mean, some of these producers, it's like two-edged swords. I mean, there's no problem using old actors. I mean, some people think that, yeah, because of commercial viability, if the person is not in vogue, you cannot use him. But at times, it is not always that it should be the case. At times, you can still give roles to people who are not hot, but they can, I mean, make meaningful contribution to the production you are putting up. And also, if you look at, I mean, some of our old actors, and I mean, some feel that they are so experienced and that there is no need for them to join agencies. There are casting agencies in Ghana. Okay. And I have spoken to some people who, I mean, mention names of some of these old actors who are on these agencies. And anytime they get job opportunity, they look at those who are in the agency first.
Okay.
They are the priority. And he mentions some names who are in these casting agencies. And clearly, you see that those people in almost all the movies. Even though they are coming from, I mean, the past. Because of, I mean, their membership with these casting agencies.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Yes.
I mean, for casting agencies, they look at they look at their members first.
Of course,
before.
because they need to make they need to make money. You understand? So definitely they will look at they will go and look for the job. And when they look for the job, they have to give it to their people who they weren't looking for the job.
Even if they are not best fit for that role?
Until, I mean, there are certain circumstances beyond. That is where they will look at elsewhere. Okay. Because they say their members are their first priority. When they
Charity begins at home.
Of course. So some should sign on to some of these agencies for them to look for, I mean, some of these opportunities for them. And that notwithstanding, stakeholder relationship is also important. Networking. How are some people even networking? Attending movie premieres, when they go, how do they network with some of these new producers? And some of the producers have also said that at times it is budgetary constraints, because you go to some of these experienced ones and they are not ready to bend the road for you in terms of their budget. I mean, they mention a price. You try to let them understand that so like compromising, it becomes difficult. And that aside too, some say that after the production, helping promote the movies become a problem. And at times even on sets, gelling with the young become a problem. So, like she was saying that at times you go on set and you are directing. So, there are issues on set. And if it happens like this, the next production, he will not go for an experienced actor tag to have a smooth run on set. Or some of them, there are conditionalities and others. Some of the young producers say at times they are not able to meet it. And it becomes a difficult situation for them, because some of them are starting. And if that becomes the case, they have to go for the hanging fruit, the one which will be easy for them. You see the last part of her post. He said, "Or you can't pay me." I mean, that part is a big problem.
That's not the last part. The last part says, "Try me."
Okay. Like last but one. You see, she made that assertion that, "Oh, you can't pay me," and she knows. Like she's also said that
she elaborated that point by saying that there's been a tag around certain actors.
It's not just a tag. If you speak to the producers, they'll tell you it's a reality.
No, but in all fairness, let's accept the fact that, I mean, with the level of experience that these people come on set with, they deserve whatever they charge.
Yeah. So if you are, they deserve it.
Yes.
And if you are the producer and you cannot meet the budget, you move on. Is that not the case?
Simple. And
they are moving on. So that is where we are at this point. So, I mean, there are some who are also casting, like she said, it's not 100%. She even though the 80% she's saying may not be factual, it doesn't. She didn't tell us it's zero. It means they are using some of them. What is working for those they are using? I mean, you can look at that best practice to also follow up or use the same model for yourself, because if a model is happening for someone, even though it may not work for you, you can, I mean, find a way to fine-tune it to fit yourself. So for me, I think it's a two-edged sword. The producers should look out for some of these experienced people. They bring a lot to their productions, but these experienced people should also know that, they go on like that. So at times, they need to be cool. They need to try and compromise small to make the work easy. Else, it will be like that. It will be a funny.
Simple. Ria, let me hear you on this issue.
Okay. I agree with some of the things she said. And I do agree
with one, the post or when we had it on the phone?
When we had it on the phone,
okay,
of course. Because when it comes to productions, especially when you are a professional, you suffer a bit on set, especially if you are not in the same room with other professionals. Okay, so with the directing bit, I've had an experience like that before, where I was fresh out of theater school, and I was casted for an advert. So fresh out of theater school, I thought, oh, I know all this and all that. So when, the direction was going on, I realized that things on set were a bit slow. Okay, so I decided, to prompt up the energy, so we go. So I just cut everything, and I was like, you guys, the thing is slow. So you know what? Let's do this. Then I did, I took them through some exercises we did in school to bring up energy for a shoot. And then afterwards, the director wasn't so enthused about it. And then after, I was never called. It was a modeling agency.
Oh,
okay. I was never called, and I think it was because of what I did.
You were in a modeling agency.
I used to model.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
All I can say is
sorry.
It's okay. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Continue.
You yourself, certain man don't understand.
So also, speaking about this, also, I've seen. Sometimes, so I have to say, the directors and the production, they should also give some respect to the old heads when they are on set. Okay, I don't know what it is about Ghanaians relegating the older generation when they have more experience. There's so much they can teach you on set. Okay, but I'm not saying Miss Beverly is old. I mean, she's young. She looks very young. I don't think she even looks her age. Okay, and she was talking about Venus Babies. I even grew up with the the Sparrow production babies, and those were the glam movies from Jocelyn Dumas to all those people. You get me? So I feel like I watched a particular behind the scenes of a Nigerian movie, and this was Mercy Johnson. And we all know Mercy Johnson in her glory. And then I think this old actress, Liz Benson, got onto the set. She kind of went to beg Miss Liz Benson, to come and join her production. And when she got in there, the kind of welcome she got from production, from Mercy Johnson herself, from, other people on set, you could see that, Charlie, this is someone that they really want her expertise. They want her knowledge, But unfortunately, I don't see something like that in Ghana.
Okay.
I've never seen that in Ghana. And I think that is something that producers should also look at when it comes to, the movie industry. And I think my last thing I would say is that when it comes to the promotion part and people, patronizing Ghanaian movies, I don't think what she said, I agree with it.
Okay.
Because as I said, I came up from the times of Shirley Frimpong Manso and from Adam's Apples, and like it was big on campus. I was on campus at that time. It was big. We were all looking from I think Princess Tyra, like all those movies. Everybody was scrambling for it. People started even pirating it.
Yeah.
So Miss Shirley had to make a CD where you can't even keep it on your laptop. At first, they were copying it on the laptop, and people were taking pen drive to go in because that was how hot it was. You understand? So I don't get when she says Ghanaians don't patronize Nigerian movies, because patronize Ghanaian movies. Okay, because we were here when other producers came in and they are like, they are never going to put their movies on Netflix. They are not going to put it on YouTube because the income is not coming. But most of the times, that's where people watch their movies. Yeah. There's, I think, Miss Mo Abudu. She's the CEO of Ebony Live in Ebony Live in Nigeria, and she produces movies on Netflix back to back to back, from Chief Daddy to Olotunre to so many movies. She's been, I think she has a deal with Netflix where she produces movies for them.
Okay.
And we watch these, I think, Assistant Madams and other movies on YouTube. They are very catchy movies, and we are watching it. So I don't know what the situation is with Ghanaians not patronizing. If you put it there, we'll patronize. You just have to do.
She said that Ghanaians naturally don't like to patronize Ghanaian stuff. That's what she said in general.
Come on.
And also, contrary to what Ajiti Anand also said here on Hitz FM, that the storylines, most of them, quote and unquote, are mediocre.
Yes, actually, it's one of the reasons.
She's of the view that there are other national or other countries producing similar mediocre movies, and we are consuming it here in Ghana.
Okay, but let me just put it this way. I've watched a lot of Nigerian movies, excuse me to say, with
that are poly.
Kind of rubbish storylines.
It's called poly.
Exactly. But they are very good ones too. You see, Nigerians will hit you with the quantity, so pick your choice. Choose your choice. You understand? So me, I feel like, regardless, put it out there. And I think, adding to what Mr. Ajiti Anand said, I would say it was one of the things that put me off about the industry myself, because you take a script, you'll be reading it, and you don't know the top and down of the script, but then they've sprinkled a lot of kissing scenes, sex scenes, and so many things in there, and you remove your bra, and you do this, Adam, leave me alone. You remove your bra, you do this and that and that and that, and then I'm like, okay, so after that, then what?
After removing the bra,
then what? Like, the storylines were not really hitting for me.
Okay.
You get, so maybe.
So you believe there's an issue when it comes to storylines?
I think now
we are not telling the Ghanaian story.
There was it's not about even the Ghanaian story. There was a particular time where like sex scenes became very big. I don't want to mention some movies because
Foreplay.
Hot Fork.
Or Fork Hot.
Foreplay.
Okay.
So Chris Safo's Hot Fork.
No, but there were a couple of Nigerian movies too, and I think there were some collaborations that had a lot, and people were tripping into the cinemas because of the sex scenes in there. It was like something new in Ghana. I mean, old Ghanaian cinemas, you didn't really see sex scenes.
All you see is four legs.
Yeah, or they'll enter the room and you see the taps on, and you thought, oh, maybe they're doing something in the room. You never really saw, those sex scenes. So when it came fresh, everybody was going in for that, and it became like mass-produced movies, sex scenes. Everybody go and watch. So I think when it faded, we started getting, better stories. If you ask me. So.
Okay, Kwame Dazi, you listen to our sister,
bro?
Yeah,
I listened to her.
Yeah. She explained the try me part and the part that people have at the back of their minds that they can't pay Venus babies.
Yeah.
Maybe Beverly at this point in time wants to,
but
get onto
she's bored.
Yeah.
Okay. And
naturally,
sometimes, as a person in that, sometimes I miss the stage. I was a stage actress for a very long time. Sorry, Kwame, I'll make it come. I was a stage actress for a very long time. Sometimes I miss the stage. I just want to, get a script, because when George Quay comes here, Fifi Coleman comes here, and they are mentioning plays that I have been in before, even from SS to uni, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was, doing that. But then you see,
you get bored as a person.
Yeah, because it's your passion.
Okay.
They instill.
But
that
would you
passion.
do it for free?
Oh, I
It still comes with a certain level of financial commitment.
No.
And
as Miss
are the producers on that level to pay?
As Miss Beverly said, try me. You never know.
Well. Fifi Coleman, you hear?
Agree to what? Oh yeah, they try me there. Oh no, I feel like the people who came before us, they have more experience. Okay, I met Miss Kalsum Sinari on a set one time, and the way she welcomed me and the way she was teaching me some things and all that, I was like, wow, like, trust me, we still need people like her, and I still see her in movies and she's doing fantastic. Yeah.
Anyway, Kwame.
Yeah.
Let me hear you on this.
Beverly Afaglo, and I thank God that her business is doing well. Traffic Shawarma.
Yes.
Most of her contemporaries don't have backup businesses, and for her to have known that in this industry you can't rely solely on revenue from acting, she needed something else to cushion her, and so I'm happy that she's doing well with her business. Per the explanation she gave to her post on social media, obviously she's not really worried about getting the financial gains from acting. She was bored. She misses the screens, and so maybe as a pastime she wants to have that experience again, so not necessarily as a means of livelihood. I infer this from her explanation. Maybe she's speaking for the other people whose livelihood might depend solely on acting, maybe. But if you are that person whose career or whose livelihood is dependent on acting, that is what feeds you, I think your approach to helping solve situations or problems in the industry will be different. We would always have new people in the system, new actors, new directors, new script writers. And if you seek the betterment of the industry, you should find a way of helping grow the industry by integrating yourself into the space, regardless of whether the people working in there are old or new. So what I'm saying is that these new directors coming and producers coming, they also need to build themselves for the industry. If they set up production houses and these houses become popular, strong, relevant, it will employ many other people to grow the industry. So if you are unwilling to work with a neophyte, somebody who is starting, because you think that you are more experienced and you can't work with somebody who lacks the experience, then how do we grow the industry?
Because the old ones are not producing.
Yes. So how do we grow the industry when we want new people to get in there? If the old ones, if the Venus Films and the other people think that they can diversify their businesses and do other things other than solely doing movie production, and others, new ones are coming into the fold, how else do we get them to make it general, to get even the old faces involved? Now, talking about old faces, I'm not sure the old people are not being cast for movies. This year alone, I've interviewed about 6 or 7 movie production or producers on Showbiz A to Z. I've written about a number of them. Kwabena Jansen, who did Azali, is coming up with Last Stop. The Groomsmen came recently.
Yeah.
There was another one that featured Akofa Gianni and Edina Matachi. A number of them, I've interviewed them just this year. So if you talk about old faces, is it old faces as in people who are old in chronological age, or old faces as in people who have been in the system for a while? And are those people really willing to act? Because if you want to be out there, you will be out there. You will find a way of being out there. And then mentioning the agencies. If this is what feeds you and you want to get yourself out there and still eat from your job as an actor or an actress, there are ways you would do that. There is a way to plug yourself in there and do that. But if you think that, oh, maybe I'm tired, I've lost hope, I don't want to solely depend on this, I want to do other things, then your attention gets divided. and you might not really see the impact on your acting side of your business. So I believe that, in as much as we always complain about, systems not being right and films not being produced, I would say maybe we're not producing as much as we want. Yeah. But right here in this industry, some people are producing movies. There was a movie produced about a month ago called 38 Hours Stuck or so. Just two people stuck in an elevator. And you just imagine what would go on inside, in the elevator for about 38 hours or so.
I can't imagine. So,
these are young producers. These are young people who put out this film. It was even premiered, I think, at the Snap cinemas or so. And so, I think that we should all come together to find ways of growing the industry. Sometimes when we complain too much without proffering solutions, it becomes a problem. To me, one of the solutions is to make sure to embrace people who are coming into the space, encourage them. If we have financial power, let's give them financial resources. If you are old and somebody who is new is trying to set up a film production company, help the person with all that you can. And the young ones too, please be humble to learn from the older ones. Because sometimes what we hear is that they think that they have the power, they have the agency, or they have the production company, and so they call the shots. But you need experience of the people who have been in the industry for some time to also run your company. So I think that it's a two-way thing, and as we think about growing the industry, we should find a way of helping each other to lift this industry up.
From her post on Instagram, somebody we are not knowing inside proper for the movie industry, I was thinking that they are producing, and it's just that they are not casting old faces. That is from the
really
post.
Producing, and most of them are not popular.
Okay, but then what would be the advantage that the new faces have over the older faces? That should also be
because they're popular with a particular generation.
Okay,
you get. And most of them have social media following. Most of them have, they are so.
So now it comes to marketing and promotion of
marketing
and
promotion
and
distribution.
I've seen so many influencers, and sometimes I will not even add musicians because it's all art. Okay, but I've seen so many influencers who haven't spent a day in acting school, and they are in movies, and they are just promoting the movies from their pages because Charlie. They have the followership, and they will make people troop to the cinemas to go and watch, or the streaming sites to go and watch.
Movies are being produced too, a lot, but they are not popular. I think the distribution, as Beverly mentioned, is a problem. Movies are being produced, a lot of them, a lot of movies.
And they are distributing it on YouTube.
Most of them on YouTube and other.
But we're talking about this. In this case, she's talking about the cinema culture. Because when we had her on the phone, she said that last year she was on DSTV for virtually 5 days in a row, Monday to Friday. And she still walks in town and people don't recognize it. People are like, oh, you won't watch it, you won't watch it.
Can you imagine if it was around 2012, 2010?
Yeah.
2009, Beverly Afaglo. Come on.
No, she's not wrong.
Hey.
She's not wrong. But
so it's about the cinema bit of it. It's not about the production sitting on YouTube. It's about the cinema thing where
cinema is also a means of distribution.
Yeah, and I understand.
Right?
Means of distribution. But so back then, when movies drop, and back then in school, uni days, you say, coming to a pen drive here. But boy. You go have them for pen drive, but you still want to be in the cinema hall. Just to have a feel of it. You get what I'm trying to say. So she's, with respect to the post, I'm thinking she's talking about the cinema bit of it, not just the production.
What if they don't? A lot of producers don't invest in promotion.
And
how
also,
about that?
But how are you doing, Bosu?
We're good.
Niceness. Your take on this? I don't know if you caught up with Beverly on the phone.
Yeah, I was listening while I was driving here. And yes, let me break it into these points. It is irritating sometimes when you watch movies and there's an older part or older side that needs to be casted by an older person in the system, and then they get to use the younger ones with white powder and all those nonsense. It's very irritating. There are a few that do it well.
Yeah.
But not everybody does it well.
The makeup.
That makeup thing. Not everybody is perfect in those roles. It was part of the reasons why people started shunning our movies, because it became monotonous. You could tell where this thing is going, by their style of acting and no professionalism and so many things. They were privileged. I would say the movie industry was privileged when it really flourished. We were all going to the cinemas to watch them. But then, constructively, their writings were like, I'm trying to use some proper word for it, Their writings went down, and then people started comparing.
Creative and not
Yeah, okay. Very good touch by the cookie. It became very, you could tell, like you start the movie, you know how it's going to end. So then people started comparing theirs to the Nigerians. They could see the quality and direction, everything that they wanted to see in the other side. So then they were jumping from, this world is a competition. Yeah. If you're not doing it and B is doing it, expect all of us to go to B.
Exactly.
If you are just idle, what do you want us to do? We will go to where we will get that kind of thing. Thankfully, Jacko and the Kumawood people sprang up, and it was big, But our people in Accra did not tap into it. They should have tapped into that side when it was really booming, because then
the part 1 and 2 era.
They should have, because you know what? Let's just say the elite side of town, the Accra and the other places that were elite, had jumped on the Nigerian thing. So there was still enough room, because not everybody is as flashy or everybody wants to be as flashy or wants to be elite. So the Ejakodems were doing it. And our people sat back and then started hailing all sorts of words at them. No. There should be a merger, or there should have been a merger. A few of them tried doing it. Yeah. I saw Van Veka and the rest of them moving into that space. We should have actually taken advantage with those Kumawood people. By now, I'm sure a lot of them will not be complaining of what they are complaining of now. But because we saw it like, and they too, because they got limited, because people virtually had the same thing from the Kumawood over and over, insults and witchcraft, and it was just one way. And we'll get tired. If people are not diversifying in what they are doing, the eye gets tired. Right? That's why our movie industry has totally shut down. But in all she said something that struck me. She's like, we should go back to the ways of promoting back in the days, the way we used to promote our movies by going to the villages, doing the concert style. Listen, let nobody joke himself. We are still in the concert era. Ghanaians, we still live in that concert era. That billboard thing that they used to, we are still there.
Yeah. That Diabolo type.
We are still there. Take it to the rural areas. Create a movie and have a plan. Last time Robert was giving me a plan of how artists should promote themselves. I think they should come consult Robert. It was really interesting and detailed. So if you go to A and you get 100, say you are doing it Accra and you get 1,000. That's your mindset. And you move zone by zone and you probably get 2,000. Have you not made your sales mark?
Yeah.
Why are you limiting yourself thinking that the whole thing is in Accra? That is the problem. Be closer like the politicians do when they are campaigning for votes. Go down. Go and let the people know that. So listen, let's just say Seshiyu also, and then we have a Jackie Appiah, Van Veka,
big show.
What are we talking about?
Big show.
What are we talking about here? And they are here to premiere their movie. And they are in town, do a radio station tour, do probably at the market, people see that they are here. Do you think that people will not troop in to watch their video?
They will.
So it is they that are limiting themselves. Thinking that the whole thing is boiled down on social media in Accra. No. Look at Dr. Likey. He has managed to break through.
Yeah.
How did that young man do it? Is anybody studying clues from him? He's using the basic ABCD that you knew yesterday. The Toli.
Yeah.
That is what that guy is using. And travel anywhere where Ghanaians are. You go and then they've gathered and they are watching Dr. Likey.
Yeah.
So it tells you that it's not like our screens are dead, but the ideas are dead. Our ideas are just dead. And until we rise and see that there's money, listen, we are targeting too huge. Do not target that Nigerian 150 million people. You would break down. Target your 10 million people. Have a base of where you are starting from. And get your 10 million people supporting the movement that you have created. And there's money in the bank.
Okay.
Movie producers worldwide, they take their movies on tour. They move from one cinema to another. You know, but here the person launches it to the crowd more because they want to wear fine clothes and go and stand there. After that, everybody goes to sleep.
And
then we'll retire like that.
Lewin was trying until he had an accident.
He was trying, and it caught up, didn't it?
Yeah.
It caught up.
The country called Ghana
It
caught
caught
up.
up. I heard he was going to Sunyani, he was going to Techiman, he was going to other places.
Yes.
So the rest can follow suit and it will work.
Well, I have Fifi on the line, but before then, 9:55 exactly, we are about to hit our draw. Star 281 hash. Oh, why? No, Robert will be my last. But I have Fifi here on the line. Hello, Fifi. Good morning.
Morning.
Boss, everything cool?
Everything cool by God's grace.
Nice. We had Beverly on the phone line a couple of minutes ago, and I'm sure you've seen her post on Instagram.
I have. I've gone through it. Read the article from Kwame too. So yeah.
Great. And did you hear her on the radio this morning? Because she elaborated some of the things in the post.
Yes, I heard it. I think from where she's coming from and the passion with which she has for the industry, it reflects what she was talking about, and that's very clear about certain things. There are things that came out, after that, the discussions that I want to quickly touch on. I need a lot of time, but I don't think we do. So let me quickly. Kwame, number one, they are not producing a lot of movies. You said there's nothing. What the metrics you are judging based on was the 5 movies or 6 movies that you have interviewed people on. But as a country, from January to July, if we are saying that we have produced 6 movies, and these movies were not by the big houses, right? There's something about getting acknowledged and being seen in the market that we want to go into. These movies that you are talking about, that no one knows about them. They don't put us. They're not the ones that is like out there that they're saying, okay, this came from Ghana. It's on this channel. It's on that channel. It's on that channel. So no matter the number that because I remember asking you to give me the production houses names, right, the other day, and we couldn't even get up to 5. That is exactly what is happening currently. They are not enough being produced, and I don't blame the producer either because she also mentioned it. They are investing to make money back, and they are not getting it. We can get into details with it later on. Now, actually, there's a bit of a thing that you said about, the movies and the stories getting predictable. Yes, it has always been a thing, and we've always known that. But it's getting very tiring when one of the accusations that we keep getting in the industry is that, you can tell the story from the beginning, as soon as they start, you can tell. People, when Liam Neeson is in the movie and they capture his daughter in the beginning, we know the end of the movie. He's going to go and fight and get a child back. We know that. When we watch the Marvel movies, we know exactly who's going to win at the end of the day.
Yes.
The movie starts, they capture somebody's daughter. I'm going to go look for my child. So that really doesn't kill a story or doesn't kill a creativity, in an industry that is what is bringing us down. It is not so. We always know the end of every movie. You pick it up, even before you watch the movie, you've read the synopsis, you know how it's going to end. But that never stopped anyone. What has been the issue is the processes of getting to the end. The processes that we go through, the plot twist, that is what the issue has always been, but not just identifying the ends of the story. Look, as an actor, producer, director in this industry for God knows how many years now, what Beverly is saying is very frustrating. You understand me? Some people would just literally say, I don't know when my next script is going to come. Or and what she was saying is very true. I haven't seen the screen for a very long time, but you are working. You know you are doing the work, and and these people are producing stuff. So just like the ones that Kwame is talking about, they are producing the movies, but who is watching the movie? How are they not knowing that these movies are being done? And the issue with the older people and the old faces, look, I can speak for myself on this issue. It is a fairly company mandate for Common Productions. We are not replacing an older person with a younger person made up. We would not do that.
You don't do makeups?
No, we do makeup. But what I'm trying to say is that in everything I've done recently, you can ask me, everyone who has seen my productions before, I brought the bureaucracies back on the stage. The Fred Amogis back on the stage. Like every older face that is out there which is available to work. You understand what I'm saying? It's open to come to work. I'll go to them. Actually, it is true. We don't even need to let them come to us anymore. We go to them to call them, to bring them in, so that we can still enrich the industry with their experience, which is what matters. And then, Adam, the idea about agencies, how many casting agencies do you know in Ghana?
Adam showed me one. Adam showed me links.
As a casting agency for what? For music videos?
Actors.
And Lens is producing which movies right now with them?
Oh, he wants to know if the movie that Lynx is producing with these cast.
Not Lynx producing movie, but they've signed on to the agency and they are getting them gigs.
Yes, I know. See, you hear the catch, right? Sign on to an agency is one thing, right? Agency going to find you a job is one thing. The job being available for the agency to go and look for is another thing altogether. These big names that you know, like all of them, right? They don't belong to an agency. I do know, the big ones. Talk about the top hierarchy, the class A, the 8 listers in whatever. What agency do they belong to? They don't. The agencies actually go to use them to lobby for the job, and then they come down back to them to come and say, "Charlie, this gig, whatever." They don't belong to them, which is a system that we should have developed a very long time ago. Because everyone has an agent somewhere that I know. It is, they become their job, they get a cut out of your money and everything. But we did not develop that system very well. That's why we will still choose color over talent. That's why we choose an influencer that will bring marketing. So that means we are diluting our artistic integrity for commercialism.
Okay, Vivi. One at time be factor right now. So thanks a lot for joining us on the line.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Fifi Coleman just came through with his submission. Rob.
Don't you think people bypass
time, but before slash I'm into
because I brought these.
Lady and gentlemen,
let's Robert talk.
We can ask one movie right now.
Yeah, microphones.
I think that this thing we are discussing is not just about Beverly. And she's saying that she's bored and then she would like to be back on the screens, and we need to be able to find a way to if cast her and stuff like that. Everything she's talked about, her explanation, points to specific areas of the movie industry and its value chain and the limitations we have within this particular country that we need to be able to call out. If creatives are not getting gigs, what are they doing? You've built a reputation, you have value, you have following, you have an expensive lifestyle. Because you see, when you get to a particular point, if you be Trotsky, then you take. Right now, I know if you take Trotsky. Yeah. You can't. There was one of the comedians, I remember we were going for a meeting, and then we got to the client side, and they're like, actually, we wait for you 2 hours to wait for my issue. My car spoiled for rooftop, so I come out from the car inside way. I take some hat, hide my face, make the nose save me, until eventually it was resolved. You know, if we did road top and say that, my car is spoiled, it's Shios, that kind of stuff. There are quite a number of things. So you get into this particular space, and everybody expects that by virtue of the brand image and reputation that you have out there, you need to be able to maintain a particular level, which is actually the minimum. Not like it's an opulent way of living or anything.
Going up and above or something.
It's just the fact that, you need to be okay because it's not just about yourself, it's about the image. Because, it's a part of the brand. So the creatives is an issue. Now, if people are not producing movies, then we need to ask ourselves, what attention did we pay to the people who were producing music, the executive producers? That is why I keep saying that if you have meeting with creatives and you forget the people who run the business behind that particular sector, then you are making a big mistake. If these guys were holding it down for ages and right now it's not happening, we need to ask ourselves, what made them stop? They had companies, their companies were paying taxes, etc. It means these companies didn't grow, didn't expand, didn't become big. But we are here, we keep seeing American companies that went from small scale to large scale, employ many people. So what is happening to our companies that used to produce? So sometimes you point out an individual because the person may be the one leading it, but really that's a company, and that company is supposed to grow. I mean, if the media houses were not growing, you think we'll be able to expand to do what we are doing? When Joy FM started, if it hadn't grown to become all of these, like where would we all be right now? I mean, despite we've seen it. Every company playing a key role ought to also be able to grow. So why are we not paying attention to these folks? What are their challenges? Because we need to understand what they are going through, what their pain points are, and how we can address these elements. Because if they are okay, then they'll be able to provide the right platform for people to be able to get featured in the movies. And then we also need to be able to get the government to do for us things that we can't do for ourselves. Really. We've been talking about these cinema issues from the days of when there used to be Roxy Cinema, Sid Theatre, and all of these places that we used to go and watch movies when we were kids. What's happening? Right now, if you are not a Silverbird, or then that. Yeah. But so what it also means is that we need that kind of things resolved. But for me, what again it means is that we have an entrepreneurial challenge, because you see, entrepreneurs come onto the fore or come to the scene when there are challenges. They look at the challenge and then they find a way to resolve it, and this becomes, an opportunity for them to be able to create a business out of it. So I see clearly an entrepreneurial challenge, and it takes certain level of entrepreneurship to be able to address our problem. And I also see a huge marketing challenge, because like we're just talking about, maybe if the cinemas are not working because we don't have what we are supposed to do, all the things that we've proffered right now, it's clearly an indication that if we figure out, if we are hard on trying to find a way to be able to crack this, we can find a way to crack it. The Forecast movie that she was talking about that sits on YouTube, for example, it's one of the things I've mentioned. I think I spoke to Fifi about like more than 4 times, because I'm watching Maurice Sam. There are about 4 of them or 5 of them, 2 rooms. And the movie is out there on YouTube. Yeah. Uche Montana, then it's the same. Then it's there. 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them, and then that's it. You may not get your money back immediately, but it is a low budget project, and you probably get your money back after 2 years. Yeah. But if you do over a period with a little bit of investment, what happens is that you'll be recouping. And if you are able to have some level of agreement with the cast, who at the end of the day understand that, Charlie, this one is not like I'm giving you X, I'm giving you Y, then everything is able to work together. I think that we need to be able to take on this as a marketing challenge or entrepreneurial challenge, and for the people who are within the space to be able to do. Mel Gibson, we've always known him for acting, but he produced one of the best movies ever when they did Passion of the Christ. I think at some point when people are able to, there you go, when the people who have been on the screens, they need to be able to also move from being actors to being producers and being investors in the space. If they are able to do that, because really, if it's not you, then who? And if it's not now, then when? It is your industry, and you have to find ways and means to make it work. So yes, you can complain up to a particular extent. That is why we have to appreciate people like Yvonne Nelson, because she moved from on-screen to getting Jackie Appiah. We need stuff like that. They need to be, because they have a lot of equity. They can use their reputation to be able to unlock some funds to be able to inject into the system. They know and they have experienced good screenplays. They know good scripts. So they will be in a position to be able to, like the way music they do writing camps. Yeah, we also ought to be able to do similar, so that we can see what talents we can get in terms of the content. If every time people are complaining, and then you can get into that particular space and then unlock some good storytellers and good script writers, and then put stuff out there, even if it's short movies, anything. You understand? And I think that the connect across Africa in terms of across the world, from the Ghanaian community, minimum. The DMV party that happened, majority of them were Ghanaians. Ghanaians, yeah. The party in the park, majority of them were Ghanaians. Which means that internationally, if we are even thinking of hitting certain places, there are things we can do. And you can, look for, because all this likey and sins, I've seen people, they are all watching from that side. Yes, they are touring. Yeah. Where are they going to? These communities that can understand the tree and they are speaking. Yeah. So there is market out there. You understand? So I think that, like I'm saying, it's a marketing challenge. People need to be able to look within the space, and then they have to evoke the entrepreneurial vibe or spirit within them to be able to address this particular issue. It's hard, it's tough, but there is, if there's a will, eventually there's going to be a way out. It doesn't mean that we are not going to stop asking for the government to do what they're supposed to do. We need the venues. That one there, Charlie. Robert. So, Charlie, my small ambitions.
This is Hitz.